What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna go over the trades that we took today inside the Discord, as well as the game plan going into tomorrow. So obviously today was FOMC day. Really wasn't much going on. So if we look here on the 30-minute, this is what we look like. Obviously on the call side, 10's below the 50, no trend in the market there. And we go to the put side, and no trend in the market here. 10's above the 50, but we were just chopping around this 50 the whole day. 50 never curled until a little bit into close, but I mean, after like FOMC into close, I'm not really gonna take that with too much consideration, because it is FOMC. Wait to see what the next day opens like, and we ended up ripping into close and started break below this 50. Still possible that we hold this and get a gap down tomorrow, and this goes and crosses and the market flips bearish. But today market was neutral, and this is what we looked like on the 0-day chart and what you could have taken. So right off of open, we end up obviously dropping a lot on these calls, and there's nothing to take here on the call side. So if we flip to the put side, this is where you could have taken a trade. So if we go here, I'm trying to find the open. 9:30 was somewhere up in here. 9:30 right at the open. Not trading the first 20 minutes, but once we came up and re-popped up in this 50 here, and this chart was going negative, this wasn't a bad trade to take. So 10's going below the 50, could have entered on one of these pullbacks to the 10, and I wasn't on the chart at the time, but I did try to play this reject right here off of the 50. I think I entered on this candle on this wick up here. I'm pretty sure it was like 195 is when I entered on these contracts. Like when I shorted these contracts right at 195, and I ended up getting stopped out right here on this closure above. I know Colton stayed in this because the 50 was still trading down, and if this went and crossed, then he would have exited, but he ended up holding and got a nice move out of it. I stopped out of this personally, is what it is. Well, I think I stopped break even on this actually, because I was up like 25 30 points right here just off of this wick, and NQ was a lot stronger today, so these rejections on SPY are pretty small, but on NQ we ended up bouncing a lot harder than we did on ES. So once we came back up here, I stopped out because I didn't want to see this come back up to the 50. Most likely we're going to break it, which we did, and I stopped out. Colton held, got a nice move out of it. Again, he held because the 50 was still trading down, and when we are in a choppy neutral market, a lot of the times that if this chart closes above the 50 still trading down, we'll end up getting back below the 50 and end up continuing lower on these contracts. But I was just rocking with my stop above the 50, and I had a break even pretty much. So I just didn't want to put risk on the table with holding longer, and obviously I would have stopped out anyways in the closure, but is what it is. And then we end up coming back below here and getting that move, and then we got this put cross, obviously, because there is a FOMC going on. So after like this trade didn't work, or if you did continue to hold it, then I'd be done for the day, because on that pop right there, we ended up going right into this 50 estimate on the call side. So if you ended up selling, you obviously would be selling, or no, that wasn't right there, it was right up in here. So we ended up popping up. You got this nice move up and in the 50, and you would have sold like right up in this area, I think. Or no, am I on the wrong side of the chart? Why do I feel like this is not where we ended up hitting the 50? This is at like 1 something. Okay, I don't really know where we hit the 50, to be honest. Off of there, let me go back to this chart. I think I mixed up the times on this. So yeah, we ended up getting this rejection right here. What time was that? So 12:25. All right, let me go back to this chart. I screwed up the times on this. So 12:25. Where was that at? We entered off of. So 12:25 was all the way back in here. Oh, I'm on the wrong day. That is why. I'm literally on the wrong day. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. We were all the way down in here, and you can see we got this nice rip up to the 50. I would have sold right there. Colton held a little bit longer and got 50 points and sold all of it there. And yeah, I mean, you play that little rejection, you would sell everything once we hit the 50, because that's the pivot point and most likely where we could reject. So you might as well just exit it all there, and yeah, you could have made some points there. Other than that, there wasn't anything else to take, because obviously we have FOMC. I would not be sticking around trading this all day. So yeah, with FOMC, this is what the charts ended up looking like after the fact. So obviously we're still neutral, 10's below the 50 here, and then the put side will be the thing to watch going into tomorrow. So if we could get a gap down, it's very possible, because if we go back to the calls real quick, the higher time frames are like going negative. So 1 hour, it did go negative. What was that, like yesterday? And then today, this 2 hour chart just looks so bearish. Like 10's going below the 50 here. The 50 is going to turn down. Price rejected the 10 super hard, and that may give us this push, and we could possibly flip bearish tomorrow. I would love to see some bearish trend. The bears have been killing it this year. Every time we got trend, it netted some good points, good moves. So tomorrow, this is the chart to look for. If this chart ends up crossing, so I know we're crossed right now, but the 50 is still down. If this chart could get back above the 10, the 50, and the 50 curls up, this is going to be a nice chart to short. And what do we do from there? We look for a 0-day cross on puts, 50 dip on puts after the 0-day cross. Those are like the two trades you want to be looking for tomorrow if the market does flip bearish. If we remain neutral tomorrow, we're probably going to get a call cross in that scenario, because this chart's going to go negative. 10's going below the 50. That's going to push us higher, since the bear's going to take the trend, and this chart's going to go negative and push us higher, and that would most likely net us a call cross. So that's the plan for tomorrow. That's what you could have done today. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. If you guys want to learn, join our Discord down below. It's where all the trades are shared. All the knowledge is in there if you want to learn. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm out. Peace.